In CourageD, we have a health check report that will help you find missing items on an appointment, to check the overall health and create like a check and balance for appointments in your office. To get to the health check report, you're going to log into your live location, go to reporting, simple reporting, health check. Again, under this report, it's kind of like a check and balance system. We have a number of reports under this tab, but it's just a quick way to check overall health of certain items in your office. I recommend that your office creates a workflow where you run the health check reports every day, or at the end of every shift, or at the end of every week. You want to stay on top of these items as they affect your billing, they affect your collections, they affect the overall health of your office. So again, I recommend that you create that workflow so that these are being checked regularly, because staying on top of them is easy, but catching up can be difficult if your office is not using this check and balance system. When I click on health check, you can see by default the date picker just goes to today. You can set your own custom start and end date, or you can use these date pickers to quickly select the date for you. You can see when I select month, it changed the start and end date on the date picker and on my health check report. Here's my health check dashboard. At the moment, we're just viewing the dashboard. To initiate or run the health check dashboard, I need to select my date and then click check all, or I can click run on the individual report that I want to run. I recommend that you always click check all so that you're running the health check on all of these reports. So if I click check all, you can see the reports where no items were found, and then I can see the reports where items were found. If I click on the card itself, a drop-down menu will appear where it will show the items that were flagged. So again, I can click run on the individual reports, or I can click check all. That initiates the health check of your office. Again, by default, if I'm just opening a date and opening the dashboard, it hasn't done anything yet. We have to initiate the action by clicking check all or run. One of the reports that you will see on the health check is duplicate charges. So again, I'm going to click check all to run the health check on all of these reports, or I can click run to check the health of this individual report. I'm going to click check all. If I drill into the card, it will show me the appointments and the patient that have duplicate charges on the ledger. There has to be 2 of the same charges on the ledger for this to flag on this report. If I click on the patient's name in blue, it is hyperlinked and will take you to the patient snapshot. Again, I said this report is looking for duplicate charges on the ledger. So I can hover over the transaction snapshot and click right into the ledger, or I can click on transaction history. I'm going to click on the snapshot of the ledger to show you how that's a shortcut to our patient's ledger. Here you can see on the appointment for 11/22, I have 2 of the same charges. This is why that appointment is getting flagged on the duplicate charges health check report, because it's looking at the data service for this patient and seeing there are 2 of the same charges. So from this point, as the office, I need to edit the ledger and make any corrections. Let's just say, for example, this is correct. You intentionally have duplicate charges. You can click this exclude from report button for this item. Now this will permanently remove this appointment, this data service, and the duplicate check of this item for this patient. It will completely remove this permanently from this health check report. It is not a temporary dismiss button. So please be using this button wisely, because I've seen offices just click it a lot and they think it's like a temporary dismiss, but it is permanently removing this from the health check. So the duplicate charges report, you do want to be intentional in looking and verifying. This takes you as the office, your manual work and your knowledge to know, was this correct? The system can only simply see 2 of the same items. It can't make the judgment call that that was correct. So you as the office, you're the one responsible for making that knowledgeable decision. Was this correct or not? If it was not, then I need to edit the ledger and make the appropriate adjustments. If this was an intentional duplicate charge, then I simply need to click exclude from report because you have verified it's correct and you just want to remove this flag. So for this patient that I have flagged, I'm going to void one of these charges because I'm verifying as the office, I'm making the knowledgeable decision that this was by mistake. So I'm going to edit and I'm going to void out one of the charges and save my changes. You can see now there's one charge. If I click exit and I go back to the report, I am looking at the old screen. It does not auto refresh. So what we have to do is recheck this item. So I'm going to click recheck and you can see now it rerun the health check report for this item because I hit recheck. If I hit check all, it will rerun the health check for all. You can see now it's verifying no items have been found. What if it's a situation where I have, let's say, an inventory item where the patient purchased 2 of the Omegas and I use the quantity box when I'm putting in the charges? Will that flag on that health check report? If I run my health check report, that item is flagged on the duplicate charges. So even if I put 2 individual line items of the same service or inventory item, or I use the quantity box, it is flagging on this report. Again, we're not saying it's wrong. We're saying we need you to verify because the system is simply seeing multiple of the same item. And we're showing you this so that you can make that educated choice in whether it was correct or not. We cannot make that judgment call. So in this situation, when I'm checking out this patient's ledger, and I see that there was a quantity of 2 on the Omegas, and I can verify, yep, that was correct. The patient did receive 2 or purchase 2 of the same item. All I have to do is hit exclude from report because I have verified this is correct. And remember, I just said this will permanently remove this item. So I click exclude from report. And you can see now there are no items found because we have corrected the flagged messages that was popping up for duplicate charges. So duplicate charges health check report is simply looking for 2 of the same items, whether it be a service or an inventory item on the patient's ledger. And all that requires on your end is to verify was it correct, and you're either going to make the necessary changes to correct that or click exclude from report.